into the finals here at round 8 of the Club 73 2017 Championship here at Lakeside Karting. First up will be the C final. A number of these drivers making their first appearance of the 2017 season, including Hartley Wade, all the way back from New Zealand to compete here today. He is driving kart number 10. We'll start from the middle of the grid. The karts lining up in numerical order. Of course, drivers who've not raced so far this season starting from towards the back. Look out for Courtney Hibbard in karts at number 15. I believe she's the daughter of Paul Hibbard, who's been very successful over the last couple of seasons in Club 73. Leading the grid will be kart number 2 of Frank Frostick, and Mark Morley-Freer will start alongside him in number 3. Two drivers on this grid playing their points doubling jokers. Number 4 of Dan Cliff is one of them. The other is number 7, Stephen Maguire. So they're lined up in numerical order then. This will be a 30-minute race. Green light is on and away we go. We should see around 40 laps in the half hour of this race. Away they go then, trying to make a move for the early lead is Mark Morley-Freer with the white helmet on as they go into the hairpin section for the first time. Frank Frostick in number 2 in the blue race suit in second place. We've got a couple of karts coming together in the middle there in the yellow race suit. I think that's Stephen Maguire in number 7 that got delayed there around the first lap, but it is Mark Morley-Freer who's got the early lead then ahead of Frank Frostick, and number 4 Dan Cliff in behind them. First three have broken away around the opening lap. They head into the final corner, coming up to complete lap number 1. Then it's number 3 kart of Mark Morley-Freer that leads. Frank Frostick in second, Dan Cliff in third place. Then number 5 Kieran McGinley is in fourth place with the orange crash helmet. The race starting to settle in then, with Mark Morley-Freer up front in number 3. He's only competed in one previous round this year, so looking for success here. Of course, it's 25 points for a final win. We have 3 different classes within the Club 73 Championship. The Super Pro, Pro and Clubman classes all racing mixed together. The first 3 very much breaking away here. Dan Cliff in third place in number 4, playing his points doubling joker today. If he can get a win here, he will pick up a sizable amount of points. Battling for fourth place there, the number 10 kart there is Hartley Wade, the man who the Rookie of the Year award is named after in Club 73. Or the leader nearly losing it over the curbs there. Mark Morley-Freer just about hold it together into the slowest part of the course, the 2 hairpins there. Fourth place, that looks like the number 10. Yes, that's Hartley Wade, the man all the way back from New Zealand. Then we've got number 5 of Kieran McGinley, and number 17, Georgie Davis, who's come through from towards the back of the grid. Very impressively indeed, already up into the top 6. There's the fight for second place. Leader has pulled away very slightly. Also, it's a bit sideways there for Dan Cliff in number 4. That's dropped in some time. He drops back, maybe into the clutches of the 4th, 5th and 6th place fights going on, but that's allowed Mark Morley-Freer to extend his lead in number 3 in this C final at Club 73 round 8. We say the majority of these drivers in this race in their first appearances of the year, 9 of them to be precise, so out of the 16 karts that started, settled into their rhythm now. With number 3 Mark Morley-Freer going clear ahead of Frank Frostick in second place in the number 2, and coming under pressure now for third place is Dan Cliff in number 4 from number 10 of Hartley Wade, but he's under fire in turn from Georgie Davis in number 17 from the rear of the grid. The black and pink there. Oh, the leader's spun it coming into the hairpin section. Fosdick spins in avoidance. That's caused problems further behind as well. That's going to shake up the order. I think Mark Morley-Freer has kept his lead there. Yes, he has, but that's allowed Kieran McGinley up into second place. It's Georgie Davis, I think, who's come through into third in the 17 kart. Well, that did shake things up, and Darren Davis, number 18, has come through into fourth as well. Well, Mark Morley-Freer caused that with a spin coming into the hairpin section. Frank Frostick went off in avoidance. A couple of others got bottled up behind as well. That's delayed Hartley Wade in number 10. So the Davis family in there in the black and pink there, Georgie and Darren. They're chasing after Kieran McGinley now. I think that's the battle for second place there. The leaders head down into the hairpin section. It's still Mark Morley-Freer who has got the lead. It's Kieran McGinley, number 5, in second place. He's done 2 rounds already this year. Then we've got the Davises on their seasonal debut, fighting over third position. Behind them, I think it's the number 11 of James Walden, quite possibly. We'll check that in just a moment. This has settled down there. Courtney Hibbard is quite well up as well. Here's the race for second position. The Davis is attacking McGinley. One of them's got through. That's Georgie up into second place. And into the tyres there goes Kieran McGinley. Now, he felt that he was pushed there. Throws his hands into the air in disgust. He felt he got walloped into the tyres by Darren Davis there. So the Davis is running second and third now, racing together, chasing Mark Morley-Freer. But Kieran McGinley, I would, in my opinion, say entitled to feel a bit aggrieved there. He got forced wide, ran out of room on the outside, and ended up in the tyre wall. So a bit of controversy there. We've got another little contretemps going on there. One of those drivers involved in the yellow race suit is Stephen Maguire in number 10, playing his points doubling joker today, of course, in the battle for 7th position here. Couldn't quite see who he was battling with. I do apologise for any miscalls here. It is a bit difficult to see the numbers on some of these karts. We've got plenty of laps still to do in this one. We're about 6 minutes into this race. There goes number 15 of Courtney Hibbard, trying to close up on the leaders. We've got a spinner at the hairpin there. I think that's McGinley that's gone there in number 5 again. Going into the hairpin there. There is Courtney Hibbard trying to chase down the number 10 for 7th place. Now that's Hartley Wade, who was delayed earlier on in the battle for 4th place, and one of the marshals just getting out of the way there, having put one of the tyres back. Full credit to the marshals here at Lakeside. We couldn't go racing without the marshalling team. Here are the Davises. Georgie still ahead of Darren, battling for 2nd place. And the rest of the field surges through. It's the number 11 of James Walden up in 4th place. McGinley is now a lap down after he's off into the tyres earlier on. There he goes out of the hairpins. There are the Davises, still chasing our race leader Mark Morley-Freer with the white helmet in number 3. Long way to go yet. Not even a quarter of the way through this race just yet. Just coming up to the 7.5 minute mark in this half-hour event. Very arduous race, half an hour in a kart. You need very strong arm and shoulder muscles to push and force these karts around. The Davises are as if they're tied together with a piece of string here. They've been nose to tail all race long. They're not catching number 3 of Mark Morley-Freer at the moment. They're coming into backmarker traffic now. There the Davises close up on number 6. That's Terry Reid. He's outside the top 50 in the Club 73 Championship at the moment. Terry Reid in number 6, about to go a lap down. Try and move aside. There's not many places, though, to move aside to let back markers through on this circuit. It's pretty tight out there, especially with 16 cars. So there's somebody going very wide there, coming into the last corner to let another faster kart through. But discipline has been good in this event so far. The back markers behaving themselves, keeping out of the way of the faster runners. Still leading the way, it is the number 3 of Mark Morley-Freer. He's been caught by somebody there. That's a back marker, I think. Yes, Kieran McGinley being lapped. The gap is coming down between Morley-Freer and the 2 Davises. Georgie's still ahead of Darren. They're not fighting each other. They're working together to try and catch race leader Mark Morley-Freer. Not making huge inroads into his lead at the moment. There we saw the white helmet of the race leader flash through. And the Davises in their black and pink race suits closing in on. Coming up to lap Kieran McGinley after he went off under pressure from Darren Davis earlier on. There goes the number 12 car. That's Lindani Fungula, the South African-born racer. Currently running quite a way behind. There are the leaders. First goes through, then a back marker, then second and third, still nose to tail, and then a huge phalanx of karts together fighting for 4th place. We've got the number 11 making a move there. That's James Walden with Courtney Hibbard trying to move down the inside. She's taken 4th place, I think, and is that a problem there for the race leader? Slowing up there, I think, or have we got a yellow flag? Has number 3 got a problem there? Yeah, well, he's lost the lead. Yeah, there's a problem here for Mark Morley-Freer. He's slowed down, and that's allowed number 17 of Georgie Davis into the lead. Darren Davis slowing down as well. So what has happened there? There's something gone wrong among the leaders. No, not number 17, Georgie Davis. He's taken up the lead. It's the number 17 kart with a clear advantage now. There's something wrong with number 3 of Mark Morley-Freer's kart. I think he's heading for the pits. Yes, he is. And is number 18 coming in there as well? No, that's number... Yes, he is coming in. Darren Davis behind Dean Morton in number 13. They both came in. So 3 karts into the pit lane. That's removed 2 of the 3 leaders. I don't know what that was all about. Did they have a tangle somewhere out of my sight? So the race settles back in again. They get back up to speed with Georgie Davis, number 17, now in a clear lead. We'll try and pick up who is in second place. I think it's the number 15 kart in second place now of Courtney Hibbard after all that. Yes, there is Courtney. She's chasing number 9, which is Will Doughton, who I think is a lap down in the bright orange helmet there. Miss Courtney makes her move coming out of the hairpin. Next in the order is number 11, James Walden, so he must be in third place. Behind him is Terry Reid, I think. Here's the race for 6th position, for 4th position, I should say. 4th, 5th and 6th. Try and establish the race order for you in just a moment. 15, Courtney Hibbard is now up into 2nd place. Just brushing that tyre wall there as they come out of the final corner. There is the distinctive yellow race suit of Stephen Maguire, number 7. He needs to improve here to try and get some double points. There is Courtney Hibbard in number 15. Courtney trying to catch number 17 of Georgie Davis for the lead of the race. There's 11 and 10 nose to tail. James Walden being chased by Hartley Wade. Now that's the battle for 3rd place, I think now. Hartley Wade has got clear of his pursuers for 4th position under the Lakeside floodlights in this C final. The A and the B final still to come. Was drawn, of course, the order of the that the finals would be run came out C, followed by A, followed by B. Very close there across the line, the 7 and the 5. Stephen Maguire and Kieran McGinley trying to recover after his off earlier on. Number 10 of Hartley Wade trying to pass James Walden there. Yes, he's got him out of the hairpin. Just brush the tyres on the pit lane entrance. They're chasing Will Doughton in number 9. I think Will is a lap down. Pick up the leader shortly. It's still number 17 of Georgie Davis up front. Here's the battle for 3rd place as we come up approaching half distance now. About 13 minutes of this race gone and running wide and wallop straight into the tyres. I think that was Hartley Wade in number 10 who overshot the last corner there, so that could do him out of a podium place. He's lost about 3 places in there. There is number 4, that's Dan Cliff, playing his points doubling joker today. He's chasing Will Doughton. I think that's the battle for around 4th place. No, I correct myself, Will Doughton is a lap down. Running wide there, number 7 of Stephen Maguire, under fire from the recovering Hartley Wade, who's been yo-yoing up and down the pack all the way through this race. Man back from New Zealand to race here today. Leads the number 7 of Maguire down into the final corner on this tight and tricky but very quick little circuit here at Lakeside, just east of London, just near the Dartford crossing. 13 and 19 across the line together there. Dean Morton and Taylor Whitson side by side. Out for number 17, George Davis, our race leader. Well out front at the moment, being chased by the number 15 of Courtney Hibbard. There is our race leader, number 17. 18, Darren Davis, a lap down after going into the pits earlier on. There's Courtney Hibbard in 2nd place, so you can see the gap as they came out of the final turn there. Somebody a bit slow out of the final turn. The hand in the air from Dan Cliff in number 4. Maybe he's got a problem. Good down behind the steering wheel there, number 19, Taylor Whitson. Through under the floodlights they come. The number 4 a bit sideways. Dan Cliff holding off Will Doughton in number 9. Number of karts on different laps now, making this a tricky old race to follow. Plenty of lap traffic for the quicker drivers to deal with in this C final. Still leading the way, Georgie Davis, being reeled in by Courtney Hibbard, both on their first appearance in the championship this season. That's why they started fairly well down the grid. Is Courtney Hibbard about to be in position to make a move for the lead of the race, I wonder? Again, out of the final turn there, one kart running very wide, nearly into the wall. That was number 11 of James Walden, still trying to fight for a podium place. There's number 9 of Doughton. The 11 and 10 behind, and they collide, and round goes number 11 of James Walden. For once, Hartley Wade gets away from it with it. He's had a bit of a battle-scarred race, this one. Number 19 there, that's Taylor Whitson, started at the back, chasing number 7 of Steve Maguire. The number 11 of James Walden has lost 4 places as a result of that spin at the left-handed hairpin on the infield section. Pick up our leader shortly as number 6 goes for a spin. That's Terry Reid. Another kart goes off in avoidance. Couldn't quite see who that was. Okay, there's the number 7 again of Stephen Maguire. I think behind them there is our leader. There's a yellow flag out there. We saw the yellow lights flashing. So somebody has had an off somewhere in this C final. That'll slow the field down. Hartley Wade's had another incident. He spun at the hairpin challenging Will Doughton. He's not having much luck on his return to the UK from New Zealand. The green light is back on there. So the race continuing on. Just over halfway through then here in this C final at Club 73 round 8 at Lakeside. It is still the number 17 kart that leads the way of Georgie Davis, being reeled in now by Courtney Hibbard. They're well clear of their opposition. Of course, the karts we saw go into the pits earlier on, if it was a problem with the kart, they don't lose any laps. They are allowed to rejoin in the positions that they were previously in, as we see number 9 Will Doughton being chased there by Taylor Whitson in number 19, who started from the very back of the grid in this one. It's looking good for the 2 up front here. Georgie Davis ahead of Courtney Hibbard. Of course, they'll be being followed by the 18 and 3 karts that pitted earlier on. Darren Davis and Mark Morley-Free are the early leaders. They won't lose a lap here, having made those pit stops earlier on. The leaders coming through the hairpin section. There's only a few kart lengths plus a back marker in between the 2 of them now for that lead of the race. 25 points, of course, to the winner, unless the race is won by a points doubling joker playing driver. There's only 2 of those in this race, Dan Cliff number 4 and Stephen Maguire in number 7, and they're not up front at the moment. 12 there in front of our leader, Lindani Fungula. Hopefully the South African descended driver won't cause any problems for our leader, Georgie Davis there. He's got Courtney Hibbard closing him down very rapidly as kart number 2 of Frank Frostick makes a move at the hairpin on Terry Reid in number 6. Fighting back, and the lead could change here coming out of the hairpin section. Yes, Courtney Hibbard goes through. Hibbard through into the lead then as they lapped a couple of back markers there. She saw her chance coming out of the hairpin, took the inside line, and Courtney Hibbard goes into the lead in number 15. Still chasing them, we have the 18, the 3, and the number 4 of Dan Cliff is still up there in the top 5. It's Darren Davis third, Mark Morley-Free, the early leader in number 3, still in 4th place. There he goes across the line. Kart number 2 of Frank Frostick, dropped back by a spin earlier on. Now almost a lap behind our leaders. There goes the leader, number 15, the blue and white crash helmet. That's Courtney Hibbard. 17 down to 2nd place. Hesitated momentarily there, Georgie Davis dealing with a back marker. And that cost him dearly. It's cost him the lead of the race. Traffic causing 1 or 2 issues now with it being such a crowded circuit out there. This is good stuff from our leaders. Also Mark Morley-Free still fighting on despite that pit stop earlier on behind Darren Davis. So it's fairly close for 2nd, 3rd and 4th still. Could we see Mark make his way back onto the podium fairly shortly? There is the number 18 of Darren Davis, lapping the number 6 of Terry Reid. Number 3 in behind him, that's Mark Morley-Free in the white crash helmet. Terry Reid gets a punt there from number 12 of Lindani Fungula in the blue crash helmet. This is lively stuff in this C final here at Club 73, round 8 at Lakeside in Essex. It's just over 10 minutes of this race still to go. Davis family in the black and red race suits. chasing Mark Morley freer earlier on. A couple of spins caused the field to be shaken up just a little. And now Courtney Hibbard has been able to close in on her first appearance of the season in this championship. As it is for about half of this field, they had to start from the rear half of the grid. They fought their way through very nicely indeed. The Davis family we've not seen in the championship so far either. Mark Morley free has only done one previous round. Number 4, Dan Cliff, a more regular driver this season, playing his points doubling joker. So into the closing stages fairly soon then of this very arduous half-hour C final. Number 7, Stephen Maguire, standing out in his yellow race suits. There are the Davises running nose to tail once again, as they have been for most of this race, except when Darren was forced to make a pit stop along with the number 3 of Mark Morley Freer, who's still only about half a dozen kart lengths behind them. But Courtney Hibbard now pulling away in at number 15, driving very rapidly indeed. Just lapped another of the back markers as they come past my position. Davis is still nose to tail in second and third. Fourth, number 3 of Mark Morley Freer. I can't see there being any major changes here unless the Davis family choose to ditch their ties and go on a bit of rivalry for second place. Hasn't happened so far though. Under the floodlights here at Lakeside. Charge their way up towards the line. There's the battle between the number 5 of Kieran McGinley and the 11 of James Walden. They've been fighting it out all race long. The race has settled into its rhythm now after those pit stops. Once Courtney Hibbard took the lead on what was lap 24, the race seems to have settled down a bit since then. There are the Davises, and have we had a change for second place there? Yes, we have. Darren Davis has got through into second place. So Darren up to second. I thought the Davises might start battling each other now that they have seen Courtney Hibbard disappear up front. And Darren has got past Georgie for second place and being closed down by Mark Morley Freer as well in the number 3. Here's a battle between number 7, Stephen Maguire, chasing Steve Ellis in number 8. Trying to get through there. They close up on Terry Reid, who's already been lapped in the number 6 kart with the black crash helmet. And in goes the bumper there almost from number 7 at Stephen Maguire. Knocks Steve Ellis out wide. Through goes number 5 of Kieran McGinley, a couple of laps down after crashing earlier on. He at number 8 gets forced wide again. This is the race for 5th place meanwhile. Hartley Wade involved in this one, being chased by Dan Cliff in number 4, so Hartley Wade's made up another place. Had a couple of spins earlier on. A little bit of bumper work being used in the midfield here. The stock car racing stadium is next door, guys, here at Lakeside. It's famous as a home of stock cars, bangers and speedway as well, of course. The Lakeside Hammers race here as well on the Shale Oval. Just about any motorsport you want you can see here in this Lakeside complex. And as for circuit racing, well, Brands Hatch isn't that far away. The 11 of James Walden again passes Kieran McGinley. They've been close together all race long. Here's the battle between Hartley Wade and the number 4 of Dan Cliff. Coming towards the closing stages, about 7 minutes of this race still to go. This C final of Club 73 round 8. Hartley Wade battling it out with Dan Cliff for that 5th position. It's looking good for Courtney Hibbard up front, and the Davis family battling it out over second place. Darren now moving ahead of Georgie in the closing laps of this one. Try and unravel all this to work out the result at the end of this half-hour event, and a bit of contact there between McGinley and Reid. Here comes number 11, James Walden, back again. 3 of them at it. Now, are they all going to make it round the last corner there? Yes, they are. They get ahead of Terry Reid, who drops back. Side by side now, McGinley and Walden free to battle. Meantime, Hartley Wade runs wide, coming out of the hairpin. Still ahead of Dan Cliff, though. Up ahead of them, it's still Courtney Hibbard ahead of the Davises. Darren Davis second ahead of Georgie Davis. Here's the 5 and the 11 there, still at it. Number 6 of Terry Reid behind them, then number 9 of Will Doughton. This is superb stuff all the way down the order. They're at it again, these two, coming out of the right-hander there. Can't get away from each other, Kieran McGinley and James Walden. So evenly matched, these two. I think it's Walden that's gone ahead. Yes, it is, as they come round the last turn. In the closing stages now of this C final. Less than 5 minutes to go. Number 9 there of Will Doughton slipping back into the clutches of our race leader, Courtney Hibbard, about to go another lap down. Sideways there is Terry Reid in this midfield battle. This is superb stuff, and I think Reid's been spun around there in the background. These two are going to be spun around if they're not careful. James Walden still ahead of Kieran McGinley. Their battle now, I think, has come to an end because Walden has pulled away ahead of Kieran McGinley slightly. McGinley won't let him try and get away too much. Meantime, there goes our race leader, Courtney Hibbard, being chased by number 18 of Darren Davis. Holding on now for the Davis family after Georgie dropped back slightly earlier on. Just a few minutes left to go now. It's an arduous, eventful C final event. They've been absolutely all over each other. Terry Reid loses another place there in number 6. So is it going to be a win for Courtney Hibbard on her first appearance of the season in the Club 73 Karting Championship? There goes the number 17, Georgie Davis, who's still there in 3rd place, but rather on his own now. 3 minutes of the race still to go. That'll be the signal for the drivers to get their final push, final attacks in. The signal will go out like the lap boards in a short oval motor race. We like the signal for the drivers to start their finishing kick, if you like in a long-distance running race. Here are the two leaders, and Darren Davis certainly has started his finishing kick. He's starting to close on Courtney Hibbard, who's got these two battlers to lap. They're looking for the leaders there, 11 and 5, James Walden and Kieran McGinley. Their battle really has been the highlight of this race. They're trying to let the leaders through. You can see McGinley looking for the carts of Hibbard and Davis there to let them through. But there's not many places that you can move out of the way without losing a load of positions yourself. Leaders have just about got past McGinley. They've now got to get past James Walden in number 11, but that's allowed McGinley to come under fire from Frank Frostick in number 2. Bit of a bash there for Terry Reid, again from Stephen Maguire this time. The leaders come through the hairpin. Have they got through there? The second place man, Darren Davis, struggling to get past one of the back markers there. That's the number 11 of James Walden, and that could decide this race because there's less than 2 minutes to go, and again, Walden doesn't give way. He needs to let the number 18 cart through here to put a lap on him. Too busy with his own battles in the midfield as Courtney Hibbard comes through, still with the lead. Now Davis finally gets past the number 11 cart of James Walden. There's a battle further back in the order. The number 12 of Lindani Fungula making a move on Dean Morton in number 13. As there go the leaders into the hairpin. I don't think Darren Davis is quite going to do it here. I don't think he's going to catch the number 15 of Courtney Hibbard. We've only got 1 minute left to go, so that will be a couple of laps at most. And I don't think Darren and Georgie Davis are going to catch Courtney Hibbard here. She's going to take the C final on her first appearance in the Club 73 Championship of 2017. It's been a very lively, very enjoyable C final indeed. The 16 drivers have been fighting tooth and nail all the way down the order. A late spinner there on the lap, what will be the last lap of the race at the first corner. There's number 17, Georgie Davis, still in 3rd place, just ahead of Mark Morley-Freer. A good recovery effort by him. But they're not going to catch number 15 of Courtney Hibbard. She's coming in to take the win in our C final, the A and B finals. Still to come, of course. Less than 10 seconds on the clock. The checkered flag about to go out on this C final. The clock flicks down to 0. It's a win for Courtney Hibbard in cart number 15. Darren and Georgie Davis will complete the podium. George Davis comes home in 3rd position, just ahead of Mark Morley-Freer, the early leader in this one until that spin. But good to see. Congratulations from Mark Morley-Freer to Georgie Davis there. But an excellent show by all of our drivers. The highlight for me was that midfield battle between Kieran McGinley and James Walden. They just could not get away from each other. Very enjoyable racing indeed from our C finalists. Sets them up well for the A and B finals to come. So it's a win for number 15 of Courtney Hibbard ahead of 18 Darren Davis in second, 17 Georgie Davis taking third. But a wonderful race that was, the C final. I think Mark Morley-Freer fourth, and I think it was Taylor Whitson, number 19, who came through to take fifth, subject to final confirmation, taking the ever lively Hartley Wade late on. So great stuff then from our C finalists there. Still the A and B finals to come here at Lakeside.